we're back and we can finally get the matting done for our album. I did do a lot of the pre-cutting and I've already put just a few pieces down. I'll show you as we go. These are the two that were chosen for the cover. Let me show you the back side. And let's get started. I did cut our pages, and I'm finding out I'm having a problem here. This piece is catching, as you can see here. So it's very possible that will just go on the inside. We'll have to see. Let me see. And that the magnet, we'll see. I'm having a few issues. So for our triple pocket, I did already cut the matting pieces that I liked. And I cut 3 pieces, and of course I don't ever cut them, to go all the way down in. And it was the collage sheet. So now we can just go ahead and put our matting pieces on. And as you'll see to this page, I already did the matting of the flaps. And then I realized some of you may want to see the matting done on camera. Now I haven't cut all my tags that will go inside. I did cut apart one of the 3x4 cut apart sheets because I will be using it in some of the smaller pockets. And see, it's grabbed it right there. So I'm going to have to figure out something to do with that tag. And we should have turned our pockets. And that wouldn't have been a problem, but I really didn't think I was going to have a problem with that first page, being that there was not like a permanent flap that was going to constantly be catching, but it did. And that's what I hate about stripes. Sometimes they look off if you don't get them absolutely perfect, of course. And good thing for matting. I mean, for the tags that will go on the inside and cover that up. This is an album that I'm keeping because I have my new little printers that I've purchased that are wonderful for your cell phones for printing off your pictures. I did get the Kodak 4x6, prints 4x6 pictures, and really it's only 43 cents a picture with the cartridges. So I'm so excited. It's upstairs, and I will be putting, and the printing's beautiful. And then I have my little sprocket that does the 2x3 pictures, so it will be going on all of these fun things. So let's move the keyboard. And our first page, so I did go ahead and mat using the 6x6 paper pad. And I've cut all the mats, and I've used a little over almost 3/4. So I still have quite a bit left to mat all my tabs. I did mat the insides with the yellow, and then this red is just the red linen cardstock. This is, remember we left that open, this is going to be matted. And that's where that goes, it's inside. And I found that it might be a little too chunky, there we go, chunky. And so I probably, I'm going to need to cut that down and cut a new one because I've kind of smashed that up. But the whole idea is it's just something small that you can grab, journal on. So definitely I'll be rethinking what goes there, because there's also this really fun cut apart sheet where I could cut out these smaller frames. And I'm sure like that will just fit right inside. Okay, so when I put this down, let me see what is happening here. Trying to figure where that's catching. It really shouldn't. I'm wondering if it was just a fluke. So now we have all this matting for 4x6 pictures cut down, and then in here I cut a mat that measures 3 by 5.5. Now after I put my ribbon in, so I have some brads. What I did is I just put the ribbon through, you put your brad through, and that's that. And that will fit right down inside that little pocket. And there's that page. Now the mats on the inside, I cut these at 9.5 by 6.5. So measure first. How I measure my pockets for matting is I stick my ruler right down inside. And say I wanted them to stick up a little bit. So just stick your ruler in there, figure out how high you want. I have not matted these yet because they are going to take a lot of paper. So they just may have some decorating on them from the paper. And let's go and get started. So these pockets, I went ahead and did mat the outside. We'll do the inside. And this is where these 3x4 cards. Now with Cartabella, it's a nice sturdy paper. You don't even have to back the paper basically. And that one sheet is just full of cut aparts. And then on the back is where I will be putting pictures. Let's go with the green. Okay. Now inside, so I cut my mats already. And I used my 6x6 paper pad. And you want 3 of them. 3 of them? 4 of them. Oh no, these are for both sides, sorry. So what I did is I just took each one from the 6x6 sheet. We'll be using the red and the flower, or the Subway art, and they are 4 7/8 by 5 3/8. So I'm going to mat with the solid. Let's see what I decided. No, the solid's going to go there. And then I'll put the Subway art here so the picture can go here. Maybe we just want to have that as paper to look at. Or you can put a picture on top of there. Now on these, you'll be able to take even a 5x7 because there's so much you can cut away from the background. Or your 4x6 pictures will definitely fit in here. And I love the solid red on the back of the butterfly. I think red is a really nice background for, a lot of pictures. Red and black. We'll get the matting done, then we'll come back in and do a little bit of the decorating. There's not a lot of decorating. So the red goes to the inside, and that will be on the outside flap. As you are matting your album, you're going to notice how it's starting to really fill out and fill into the size of hinges we used. And then when we add some decorations, it will definitely really plump up. Get that glue on there. It does become a little tricky to work on. Because I cut my mats, now they're just going to be flying everywhere. I was just going to open it up and work on that, but we'll be okay. It just looks very barbershop to me. A great picture for Grandma and Grandpa, maybe. Or the grandpas. It's just a lot of things you can do with this front album. Okay. And when I go back to do the finishing, I will go ahead and ink my edges. Like I said, I've already pulled all the mats, done all the mats. So I'm not going to be doing anything with them right now. Okay, now for this side, let me show you what. I had some Bo Bunny papers, and it's their double dots. But as you know, Bo Bunny is now sold out their company, if you haven't heard, and it's gone to American Crafts, which many of its retailers don't have a lot of luck with. So I'm not sure if I'll be carrying it anymore, but time will tell. I need to paint my corners. So I did, no, that's not for, oh, I know what this one's for. This is a pocket, and we went ahead and made it on camera and then sealed it. Problem is, I can't get my paper down, and you may have that problem too. So I cut it so it ends just right where the pocket starts, and that will be just fine. So we'll start with the inside. The one thing I do need to do is to cut that pattern, pattern piece of paper for the pocket. And I didn't cut it yet. I was waiting for my scraps and to see exactly what would be left. So after we mat, I'll go ahead and get that cut. I should be okay now on all my matting since it is all cut. Even though it doesn't go down inside, it still looks fine. Okay, now for the opposites, I just used the black linen cardstock. Great matte background for your photos. Now, making this album, it might be a little easier to mat everything before we do put it together. And when I make it again, because I really like this style, it makes just a really nice album for showcasing your pictures. I definitely will do all my matting before I put everything together. But we live and learn when we're just making our thing for the first time. Now for this bottom part, let me go ahead and measure and get that cut for my pocket. So it's 2 inches by 6.5. I think I'll go with the smaller. Smaller cutter. Ink must be buried, yes. Let's see. Oh, I do need to do all 3 corners. I think I may have used the smaller edge for that. Now on the inside, you can go ahead with your smaller, or you can make larger ones. So let's turn our page, and it's another large mat. And this is really fun paper. I am so sad to see Bo Bunny selling their company, but we'll see. Hopefully things will still be available and easily accessible. And this is too long. 6.5. I didn't cut it the 1/8 of an inch short. Much better fit. And black for the inside. Now, if I choose not to put a picture there, another thing that really works well is your journaling cards. Just your 4x6 journaling cards that you can buy in the office supply store. And you can die cut those, cut them down with the lines, and then you just adhere it. I like to cut it with circles. I mean, you know, just your regular office supply that we used to use for our recipe cards all the time. And cut 2 circles, and then you have a really nice journaling spot. And then I'll finish off with the same pattern. I debated plaid, but I think we'll go with that. That's pretty neat to put one like that saying, or definitely bring in a solid colored cut apart. A lot of choices with this collection. And then we also have our die cuts that we'll be using for decorating and layering. So and then again, you'll have pockets for extra picture or cut aparts. Okay, now for the opposite side. Let me remove our matting pieces. So that's what we have now. And I'm going with the polka dots. And the matching family there. You know, you look at it and you're like, Okay. And then we have for the insides these 2 pieces. Something, oh, I didn't cut. That's wrong. This is the inside piece. There's my matching polka dots. What have I done for the outside? I don't think I cut an outside piece. Okay, I'll have to come back and get that, but we'll go ahead and mat what I do have. And you know, matting the back of your flaps, you don't have to. Kind of a personal choice. Just actually, you know, gives it a more finished look, and that you can leave it unmatted and then just put your picture there. And there, I'll hold on that. There. And then the plaid opposite. Now, we are, believe it or not, it's hard to imagine saying we are going into the winter months. And I did get a couple of notices from the Art Glitter Glue Company that they are going to start watching the temperatures. So if you're thinking of needing your glue to get you through the winter, I actually purchased 2 of these for myself, the 16 ounce, and they last me the winter. And you know I craft a lot. So you might want to be thinking about getting your stock up. It won't be long. And then it's going to be too cold to ship. We were able to resume shipping, I believe, back around April. And we can ship in rare instances, but I have to wrap it in foil and foam. I really like that. Okay, so I've got this little piece. Now this is a pocket. So your 4x6 will fit in there, and I will cut it down a little bit just to not touch that. Quite firm. And I did cut this on all 4 because I wanted to look very photo matty with those rounded corners on all 4 sides. And for the outside, I didn't cut that piece. So I need to quickly cut it at, so mine's going to be 4 1/8, and I believe it was, yeah, 4 1/8 by 5 7/8. Let's see, what did I use over here? This one? Oh. This is a hard one. Just quickly going through to see. I'm really adding a lot of different patterns here. I don't want to start looking too busy. There we go. I think I'll go with that. And that's where we'll have decorations, so it won't take away from our embellishing with a too busy a pattern. one, there's quite a few extra pieces to this one, and I did not mat the edges. I mean, I have not inked the edges. So what I'm going to do is just lay out my pieces so you can see the ones I've used. So this is the 6x6. I'm not going to put them down. I'll put them down the exact same way that you've been seeing me put them down. I'll do them off camera. That way we can move on to the cover. Now, for the inside, I've used my black cardstock. And this is basically where I went through and I use my scraps. That one doesn't seem right, but it must be. I use the scraps. And we have, there we go, from the 6x6 pad on the back side. On the front side was from the collage sheet. And then I'm using, again, from the 6x6 red on the inside. And red on the outside. Okay, then when we come over to this side, again, there's quite a few pieces. I do have to go back and ink everything. So I'm using the green from the 6x6 paper pad. And then I have red inside here. It's like I'm going all red on the inside. Again, the collage sheet. Just from our scraps will go down. And I took the other half of this side of the collage sheet. Flowers on the inside and green on the outside to match. So that's those two pages. Now this one, again, was very simple. It was just your pocket. So you'll just want to measure your width and your length. And then you can make a booklet to go in here, or your tags that you can actually put pictures on. And then you can put more behind. Grab this one. And I'm just going to stick these in here. I love this one because I will be using these in our decorating, and I just want to keep track of them. Okay, this side I did go ahead and get everything cut for our waterfall, and our pieces here were the 1 inch. So I already cut these at 7/8 of an inch, and everything is about 5 3/8 long. And your waterfall pieces are going to all be the same. They are 3 7/8 by 5 3/8. And what I did was I chose green for the inside and black for the outside. And then the red will be in the middle. Maybe. We'll see. I'm not sure about the red. What was I thinking? So it might be the subway art. So again, I am not going to do the matting. The matting is done. I will put them on off camera. So this will be all black to the ends. This is my other piece that goes inside. Okay, now this guy, if you remember, this is the really fun one, so let me show you what I've done. I went ahead and cut my mats. This one is 6x6. I cut them about 1/4 of an inch shorter on the sides, and then I did put them about almost a 1/2 inch taller, and I did 3 of them. Remember, they're open on the sides. You can also add, just loose pictures. And for the matting, goodness. Okay, I went and used the frame piece. Absolutely love it. Love it, love it. My pieces are kind of mixed up here. Here we go. Now, for the opposite is the plaid. And I'm sorry, it's so hard to see. So I'll have all the words, mother, sister, grandmother on the back side. That will close. This is one of my favorite pages. I love cutting these. Then we have the black. And the red. That will close. And the butterflies. I haven't used the butterflies anywhere, so down they go. And these are the two pieces. Let me go ahead and put these on because I keep trying to lose them. I'm going to use the black. And these are 1 7/8 by 4 5/8 long. So just measure your band to get your exact width, and then I just cut off the 1/8 of an inch. Yeah, next time on an album this size, I'll be doing all the matting before we put our pages in our book. But I had this design in my mind. I just couldn't wait to get it put together. And then you find out. Now this is one of the frames, but I loved it. And so I just cut it accordingly so that it would fit. I know it looks kind of busy, but I'm going to have embellishments there too. We will be getting out all of our die cut pieces from our die cut package. Oops. Put that away. All these tools. This is a busy paper. But like I said, once we get embellishments here and separate, it'll be great. Now, on this paper, I'm going to kind of show you. This was it has the green kind of filigree stuff on the back. And it has a lot of pieces that you can cut apart. But I thought, how cute. So what I did is I laid my full piece of paper down. I don't have another one, but this will show. So what I did is I basically laid this down and moved it around. Then I marked it where the sayings I wanted and where it wouldn't look like I chopped them off. And this is the ones I came out with. These were the pieces. So then I cut them accordingly to the size, and my flap was the 3. And I believe it's 6.5. And then this one was the other piece. And I have not matted. I have them in a pile over here. I haven't matted my mats that are inside, that go inside here yet. Again, they're quite large mats. And I'm thinking, at the end, when I see what I have left, I may make an envelope with my envelope punch board that we can put inside there. And I can pull it out and use it for loose pictures instead of mats. But I didn't want to start making envelopes if I didn't have enough sheets left, because it needs to be a good size one. So we need at least a full 12 by 12 to start. Nice, nice big place. Oh, one thing that I want to see if I can do with this, and I should have grabbed that punch. I'm not sure if it's going to fit down there, my thick one. I'm going to try. And this is something, yes, I should have done beforehand. It's one of those afterthoughts. No, this punch is just too large. I'd have to use a smaller one, and I don't have it right now. So I will just leave it as is. And now we can put our mat on the front and the back. Yeah, that definitely is catching, so I'll have to do something different. I do not know why. But we'll get that all fixed. I think it's just because when it falls forward, otherwise I wouldn't have that problem. So I'm just going to open my book flat. Oh, we already put our cover on the back. I don't know why I did that black one. Okay. So my cover is now cut. You know, I may have cut a different one for the front, didn't I? And I've lost it. I can't remember, and I'm not going to go back early in the video. It's all right. Put our front down, and then we will get our, if you have the ephemera pack, I will be using that, and of course the sticker sheets and all those different sheets that we can cut apart. My tip for this, I do need just a little more glue for this larger area. And depending on your paper, this is a textured, so I'm not worried about it going through. If you're using a really lightweight paper, just be careful if you're using a wet adhesive, of course. I don't worry about it with art glue, though. We'll get this spine piece, too, towards the end, once we figure out the front. Kind of an adhesive. Now remember, we're not matting this till last. Oh, I just did the dumbest thing on earth. Guess where my magnet is? It's right here. If you just followed me and did what I did, we were supposed to wait. It's okay. We're going to be doing enough embellishment. We'll be able to cover our magnet. So that's one of those oopsies. We can't. That's okay. So now I'll go back in and get my matting done, and we will get started on the embellishments. So if you have the ephemera packs, go ahead and grab them, and we'll be using them. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, I have an absolute mess you'll see here to the right of me. It's all of the ephemera and tags that came with the collection, and I just kind of opened things and started dumping, because going through the album, that's when I looked at it and thought, you know, there's a lot here, but I want to show you a couple of things I did. Remember this pocket, it was catching, so this is one of the 4x6 cut aparts. I glued that pocket closed and then glued this on top because it was catching on this tag, and there was nothing really that I could do to fix it. So I went ahead and art glitter glued it down, glued down my tag, and I did add a mat, so it did close it, so I can't go quite as far down. And then I just used my cut aparts from the 3x5. So that's my inside cover. Now for the inside cover, I need to turn this down. Sorry. So notifications don't come through. Okay. Now I have these gorgeous flowers that are from 49 and Market. And we have some greenery and leaves. And I want to use one here. Get some of that through the red, just to break that up and to kind of differentiate that, you know, it's because we used all those collage papers. So I'm going to get out my hot glue gun, and I'm just going to add a little bit to the leaf just to get that down. Now 49 and Market has absolutely gorgeous flowers, strings, and they are heavier, so I don't use my art glitter glue. And I'm really flustered. I have the art glitter glue, not art glitter glue, I mean the No Mess glue sticks by Elmer's. So you can see they are not No Mess. So let's go ahead and just cozy those two guys up together. We have a little bit of the greenery on the sides, some of the red. Now over here, I wanted to bring in the flower again, just on these 2 pages. Some of the greenery in the package. These are sold in the store. The 49 and Market, you even get this little piece of, whoa, lace that just went flying on the floor. Okay. And there's some other, you know, just really cute little things that you can definitely add to this. And when I do that, I wanted to see if they'd be getting in the way there, very possibly. So I might save those for something different, because we do need to keep this kind of simple. And then this is from the Frames and Tags, these ephemera packs. Whoops, that I do have dumped all over the place. This is Our Family, in the yellow, just to bring some of that additional color. We don't want it to be up too much or anything. Now I'm just going to lay the leaf on this one down where I want it, because the hot glue from the flower itself will hold that down. And on here, I'm just going to use art glitter glue. And you do want that somewhat flat. Like I said, I was going through the album, and as I went page to page, that's when I decided, no, we've got plenty on here. We don't need to add any more other than pictures. But I do want to add a few of the pop dots. And I'm just going to add them on the pocket. Now, this pop dot is the pop dots that are they call them enamel dots from Echo Park. And this is actually the Magic Wonder. And these are the Magic Wonder brads. But there's ones in here that match so well. I grabbed them, but because they did not put, you know, they didn't do that with this collection. And I really wish they had, because I love to use them on everything. So I'm just going to add some of the colors. We have the reds, the blacks in the corner. And then I'll do the same over in this corner, just to give a little dimension. And then we'll add the yellow. And that's kind of what's nice about your Echo Park and Carta Bella lines. They're so interchangeable. Just making sure those down. And then on the inside, of course, we just want room for the pictures. And pictures on the back of my mats. Or whichever one. Now on this side, I did put my little things in here. So what I've done is, this is right off of the scraps. And then I used my round circle punch. This one's from, it's a 2.5 inch one from Hobby Lobby. It's a Paper Studio. And then this is just my EK6X flag punch. And after I punched it, then I cut one shorter. And I want to go ahead and ink the edges. And again, it's just a little something to break up a lot of the pattern that's going on. Oops. And then just wanted to do one more look to see what we've got here. I'll show you. So I'll put the one that, see, one is now shorter than the other, like so. I just want to add a little adhesive because I want to leave this open so I can slide some tags and pictures underneath there. So just along the top, about in the middle of the page, because there's a lot of pattern there. Now, these are really cute. These are really nice. These are great if you want to journal on the back with the note as to what happened that day. Again, just a little tag for underneath that says family. And these are from the Ephemeron tags. There's tons to choose from. Even little frames. And just these are just really cute. Slide under there. And then you can also slide a picture, and you can slide these out also when you want to journal on them. And maybe add, or just add on top of a picture. So maybe you're going to put a picture down, but you need a little extra. Those can sit there. Now the 2.5-inch circles, I decided to do them as photo frames with black. So I just punched 2 of the black linen cardstock, because we have a lot of sayings as I started working on this album and realized we have an awful lot of words already, a lot going on that we don't need to add more. But now I've got a room. I have room when I do my 2x3 printouts. I can cut them, and I can even cut it with the 1.5-inch circle I have and add it to there. Then I cut apart. I don't know if I showed you this earlier. I just cut down some of the cut apart pieces. And over here, again, we got a lot going on. We didn't need to add anything more. So these were from the Frames and Tags. Family stories make the most valuable heirlooms, and families are forever. So I decided to add those, but I do want to mount these on some black cardstock. So I want to measure these. So I have one that is 1 1/8 with 2 3/8. And it is a mess here. I can't even find my small cutter. There it is. I mean, it looks like, as you can see to the right of me, that a hurricane has come through. I was really getting into this. So we're going to go 2 3/8 first. So actually I'm going to go 2.5. Oops, didn't quite go through. And 1 1/4. Much too long. Because I cut it much too long. Much too wide. There we go. It just gives it a little pop. One 5/8 by 2.5. So 1 5/8. So I'm going to cut this at 2 3/4. These are hard to get hold of. Oh, that's much too big. just enough. I have to get the shop vacuum out tonight for sure. Okay, I dropped my bottle earlier, broke the lid. I broke a part of the tip off, so it's not quite as a pointy tip, and I'll have to put a new one on when I'm finished for sure. This lid part broke completely off. It's out forever. All right, where's those little pop dots? Oh, I'm so sorry because I'm afraid it is going to be one of those times when everything's going to start getting lost. I'm going to try not to let this happen, but add 2 yellow pop dots at the bottom. And 2 of the little red ones. Okay, over here, in fact, I took my mats out because I will be folding this in half and it will become a booklet. So I didn't do anything there. Now on here, this is from your frames and tacks. So I took 3 of them. The backs are plain, great for journaling, and this is from the Decorative Brads, and I just put 3 of them together. And I'm going to pop dot them right on top of there. Put my larger pop dots so that I'm still able, let me show you, to use it somewhat. I am going to add some art glue back here. So these will still turn, and I'll be able to flip over and just jot a note or write or add one of my pictures. And then when I open it, see, you can move them back together. And when I went to mat this, if you remember, I had all the same. I decided, because these were cut out almost perfectly where the sayings are. And when I put a picture then, it kind of, I'll put it on the inside so it looks a little bit framed. And I really liked it. So I left the sayings. It's kind of hard. I see the sayings and I want to keep them. Okay, this page, I took the family from the ephemera pack to add right here. Now on this, I do want to back it on the black. These are just scraps from other things that I have. So I am going to do a little fussy cutting. We're first going to back it on the black cardstock. I'm going to move some of these punches, give me some room. I said, I was hoping this line was a little bit bigger. It had a little more elements to it, but it didn't. They have a new family line, so we'll be bringing that one in too. That might have a few more ephemera pieces because I wanted it to not just everything say, I mean, I do want it to say family, but not every single thing that you have for ephemera, if that makes sense. Now I have to kind of keep our shape here so I can keep a little bit of the border. So this takes just a minute. Bet you haven't heard me this quite in a while. There we go. Going to pop this one up just a hair. These aren't very thick pop dots. There are smaller ones, but you see enough to give it some dimension. And then on the back here, it's really nothing I like, or that will go. It has a bow tie, so we'll have to save that for something else. And so this I'm going to be leaving plain. And I'll be putting those little flags just up there in the corner. These are also in your frame and tags. Ephemera pack. You have the die cut ephemera pack and frames and tags. So actually, I apologize. And it's in one or the other. Okay, straightening that up. Our adhesive. That glue. And I think this is what I'll do. I do want a little bit. I just don't want a lot because, again, all the things. Oh, these are no big ones left. I have been using tons of these. Never used to use them, and now I just love them. I love the enamel dots. They add so much without over adding. Okay. Now, when you close it, you can see it's getting fatter and fatter, but you still have plenty of room. Now, I had a boo-boo with my, and the ink, the whole pad fell. So what I've done is I actually took the sheet and I cut it down. We're going to be making a border to 9.5 by 6 or by 7. So I decided a border. Plus, I had forgotten the magnet. So I've already got everything cut for it, and I'll be using this cut apart. This is from the Ephemera Pack circle. I've already cut my circle. And then this is also from that one cut apart sheet that has all the, that we used on our pocket on the back, saying, so having someone to go home, somewhere to go is home, having someone to love. It kind of cut the E off, but we all know what that saying means. Now, before we get started here, we're going to go ahead and get our magnet down. So it kind of serves its two purpose because I forgot it last night when I was filming. And I'm going to open the book just a little bit. So there we go. Moves over. And I have some wiggle room. Now that's going to go right on top. So you can see there was no way to cover that, and I was really upset. I did already cut my mat pieces, so after I cut my elements out that I wanted to use, then I just cut my back black to match the back. To back these. Now I'll secure this down to the black. So this ended up being about a 1-inch strip. I believe it was 10 inches long. This is going to go on the bottom, and that is what is going to hide that lovely area that I inked out of accident. That's going to go there. I have my circle punched. Then I have the red flowers, and no, I'm using different flowers. They're the Prima that came with the Zelatil line, so I'm going to show you those. And then there were some other just really beautiful cards, and I just thought, I don't know, part of me wants to, so let's try a couple. Here they are. Even though they're not going to, completely be seen. I think we just might be quitting while we're ahead. All going to try something. I think we're going to just use the flowers. Okay. Down this will go. I'm getting different layers here, so I want to make sure everything's going down. No edges. Now I cut the mats. The cards were 4 by 6, so I cut the mats 4 1/8 by 6 1/8. So it's not a huge border, but it's enough to give it some dimension. And this is going to be one of those albums that will be handled a lot, not only as I'm adding the photos, but I know it will be handled a lot just because everybody's going to want to see the pictures. So I didn't want to pop this up and people get their fingers under there. Now on this one, this is the ephemera. Sometimes they have those little things poking up where they've been punched out by the machine. So I like to sand those off. And we'll just go over the edge of this one. And your ephemera packs, they're not extremely heavy paper, so I do like to back them. And I like having the 2.5 inch punch, the 1 7/8 7-inch punch, a 2.5, 3, because then I know something's always going to fit. You know, the ephemeras or my sticker sheets. Okay. Now, these flowers, which I'm going to also be bringing in some of the, well, I might, from our leftover 49 market, are the Prima ones from Zella-Til. And I'll be honest with you, I don't really think they match the Zella-Til as well as they match other lines. And the black flowers, just to die for. I thought, how perfect with this paper collection. We do already have a lot of red going. We have, you know, just a lot of other colors. Even that just looks great. Okay, now we can get started with some fun. Definitely want to bring in different looks here. Like I said, I do have these darling red ones. Oh, I just love the black. We also have these that are just precious. to do some fluffing up there. One other thing that I thought was really neat and interesting, and this was inside of the 49 and Market, was the grapevine, so you can actually do a wreath. Wasn't sure how or if I wanted to incorporate it, but let's see here. No, thinking maybe not on this one, even though we can change the size. Pretty cool. So let's get busy. Wire cutter. These are my garbage. Then I'll just give these bottoms a twist together. Join them together. Around that circle, there we go. Much better. So again, the flowers are from Zella Till. So if you're looking for them on the website at Country Craft Creations, they are in the Prima section of Zella Till. Now, oh, we're not using that one. This one. Again, bend it outward. Just bend these how you want them to go. Whoops. Put them back together. I think I'll just wind this one and double it. Still a little bit attached there. All right, let's get up onto that. There we go, flower. Other one down. Straighten out that one just a little bit. There we go. Much better, much better. And I think that's enough. Just want to touch. I'm loving the color of these flowers. Oh, no, it's got to go on there. Just love it. Okay. One thing I didn't check. Oh, I'm just batting 1,000 here tonight, aren't I? So, you know what I'm going to do with this little album? I am going to remove this. And this is what is great about crafting. We can do that. Okay. Mine's not going to have a closure because, man, I just could not get that right, could I? But that's okay. So there is the cover. And it actually is straight. It's just the way it sits. I really like that. Then, you got to fix the back. So I have to remember I am putting this up upside down. And I do have a couple of choices. One being, family is a place of peace. And to me, that is such a great saying. Then I have an even larger one that just says family. And once again, I have to remember I am upside down. Okay, I'm going to go with it. Hides that space up nicely. I could take another piece and, of course, you know, cover it, but you don't need to. You and I and the camera are the only ones that know it's there. There's the front, both of those. So it was worth it giving up, to me, the flowers for the closure. I'm just deciding. Okay, now we need to do the ends. Oh, like I said, everything is pretty much buried. Our spine came out to be, mine's 2 3/4 by 7.5. So now we just need to decide, what do you want on the spine? Out of the way. Grab your scraps. Do I want to go with the same, which I think might look really nice to go with the same, or the plaid? You know, I'm going to keep it the same. Let me move all my scraps and my parts and pieces, and I'm going to first cut it at just 3 inches. I know I'll have to trim it, but I don't want to be too short. And then I cut mine at 7 3/8. Okay, this is going to be kind of hard in the camera, but I just want to, yeah, I really like to continue on. So I'm going to take a little bit more off, down to 2 7/8. Just a hair more. Do it right here. Ink my edges. Now, because this is a little difficult in the camera, I am going to add my adhesive to the back, but I use my knees. I'm going to just put the book upside down between my knees. It just is easier for me to get this on, but I do have to be out of the camera. So I'm just putting it on the side, and just like we did with our cover, like so. And it is quite a large album, so it's better to do that. Oh, I almost dropped it. This is a pretty heavy album. I'm just getting the edges down. Working it down a little bit. Now, I do have a feeling it might be too light. These were some from a die I have. I think that might just work. It's a bow that I wanted to put on the edge of my, or the top of my spine. So let me go ahead and grab this bow. Is, oh goodness, I apologize. It's not, oh, it's not the Cricut. Cricut has one very similar, and it's made by a company. Actually, Ginger from my sister Scrapper told me about, and I will get the name and post it. I usually don't do that. I'm so sorry. But Cricut has one. It just doesn't have the scalloped edges. And I use that a lot also. Okay, let's just go ahead and get these guys down. So we're just bending them back. I'm going to use my clothespin, and we're going to let it dry for just a moment. And I do use my bone folder just to give it that rounded shape. Now, you can also just use your paper that you have, you know, that matches, but I had these all cut from a Christmas project, so I really wanted to use it. Goodness, I'm getting ahead of myself. We need the center on. There we go. And that just wraps. Definitely need a new tip on my glue bottle. I broke that very tip off. I'll center that right down on the tails. I like the Cricut, and you can get it at Joann's. It's all one piece, and you just cut your bow. They're a lot of fun to use. And then, of course, it's not going on here, but, you know, it really could. Oh, you know, we could really put one here. Oh, wow. I was going to use it for the spine. I just wanted a bow on the spine, so I think, oh, it looked really cute there. We just might have two of them. I'm going to use my hot glue for this, and I am out of camera because of the size. What we do. Let's go through our tags real quick and see. Family is everything. Even though it will be sideways, we still will know what it says. Let's turn it that way. There we go. Stirring it out. Down so I can see a little bit of the bluish green looking over the top. Now I think what I'm going to do with Some of my dots is go along the bottom here. I'm running out of my big ones. Yeah, we have the yellow. Just right here on the bottom. Yellow. Well, let's just use the fingers. And black for the little one. And it's really little, so I actually need my scissors. It's very difficult to see from this angle. There we go. So there we have our album. And I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. And I cannot wait to see your finished project and what you've decided to decorate yours with. And be sure to share with us on Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations on Facebook. Thank you, everybody, and thank you for following the tutorial. Good night.